Right now at 6, the redistricting debate takes center stage in Annapolis this morning as Maryland lawmakers will debate changing the congressional map. We're live with a report from the Capitol to preview the plans they'll be discussing. A major move from President Trump's acting attorney general. Why it could boost his chances of being confirmed by Senate Republicans. Tragedy at a fast food restaurant in Idaho. A gunman opens fire, killing several people, including an employee. Why police say bystanders played a part in stopping the shooter. And it's been a stormy start to August with a weekend downpour across the DMV. We'll track the chances for more rain to keep you prepared for your week ahead. Your news at 6 starts now.
Hey, thanks for joining us here on Fox 5 and streaming on Fox Locals. We get another Monday underway.
Yes, hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. Good morning, Taylor and Caesar.
Yeah, I know. We had some rain yesterday for a good part of the afternoon and the evening, and unfortunately kind of stuck around overnight. Now we still have a couple of showers out there that may impact part of your morning commute, but it's not going to be a total washout. Humidity is very high, so we'll have a full breakdown of when you can expect the showers, plus when we'll get some sunshine back in the mix, too, coming up. Caesar?
Thank you, Taylor. So far right now, looking here at your Monday morning commute, of course, we do have one incident that we got to talk about here. It's the crash that's been reported after Maryland 210 Kenilworth Avenue on the BW Parkway in the southbound direction. Of course, you could follow police direction if you are stuck there because you're seeing delays from Maryland 450 at about 16 minutes for that. So certainly keep that in mind. Over to you.
Now to this morning's top story. Another redistricting battle is heating up in our region.
Yeah, today Maryland lawmakers holding a special session on redrawing their state's congressional map. Let's start things off with Mel near the State House in Annapolis, where there will be a rally later. Morning, Mel.
Hey, good morning, guys. And the important thing for people to know is this will have no impact on the upcoming midterms. And ultimately, it will be up to Maryland voters to decide if they want their congressional districts drawn based on whatever political party happens to be in power. Polls have shown that Maryland voters generally do not like redistricting for partisan reasons. But the narrative for progressives and Democrats is that this is needed to respond to Republican-led states that are working to wipe out Democrat congressional districts. Maryland has 7 Democrat members of Congress and 1 Republican, Andy Harris, who has represented parts of the Eastern Shore for 8 terms. The Maryland Senate had resisted calls for early redistricting until the Supreme Court recently weakened federal voting rights protections for congressional districts based on racial demographics.
This is a precarious time where kind of personal feelings have to get out of the way. This is about doing what is right and making sure that Maryland is acting from a position of strength.
What they're going to do is change the Constitution so they can get their way. It's wrong. It really stinks of authoritarianism.
Now, Virginia voters approved a ballot measure in April to temporarily redraw congressional districts. That was blocked by the state Supreme Court on a procedural issue. Maryland lawmakers behind this effort say they're working carefully to make sure their legislation will withstand legal challenges that they believe will come. Now, the special session is scheduled to last 3 days. The constitutional amendment does require 3/5 vote approval by both the Senate and the General Assembly. And if it is approved, then it would be on the ballot for voters to decide this November, but it's for the 2028 congressional elections.
I'm Julie Donaldson with the Fox 5 News Alert. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has officially slashed President Trump's controversial $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund. Now, Blanche issued a formal order late last night terminating the proposed fund to compensate political allies, capping weeks of negotiations with Republican senators who threatened to block his nomination. Texas Senator John Cornyn's office confirmed the agreement. Now, it also scales back proposed tax audit immunity for the Trump family. The surprise reversal clears a major hurdle ahead of Blanche's Senate Judiciary Committee confirmation vote that is scheduled for tomorrow. Marissa.
Well, Julie, the search is on for a man in connection to a deadly shooting in D.C. The police finding the victim, 22-year-old Jamari Millett, shot multiple times on Dick Street in Northeast back on July 28th. He was taken to the hospital where he died a few days later. Anyone with any information is asked to call police.
Prince George's County Police now searching for a missing man, 50-year-old Nathaniel Gray, last seen on LaSalle Road in Hyattsville Saturday in a wheelchair wearing a hospital gown. Anybody with information asked to contact Prince George's County Police.
Inching closer to 6:05 on your Monday morning, and also shout out to all of our Zippies and friends who showed up to our zip trip in Indian Head in Charles County, Maryland Friday. That was a big one.
Yeah, we'll talk more this morning about
yes.
that, but big thanks to everybody who came out. What a great turnout. Charles County, you guys always represent. So thank you. We loved it.
Well, I did have to contend with a little rain driving in wet roadways this morning.
I know. We're still in a deficit from the first of the year, but we did pick up on substantial rainfall across the area, actually just under 2 inches at Reagan Airport, which is hard to believe yesterday. Today, we're going to kind of add to that. There we go. Right now, with yesterday's rainfall totals 1.74. For Reagan, looks like BWI just over an inch and then under an inch at Dulles Airport. So we're going to add every single day this week. We'll at least have the chance for some pop-up showers or some storms. Today, we're at least starting out with that, of course. We do have reports of some rain showers in a couple of areas. It is a very gloomy start to the day. We're at 76 degrees with winds out of the southwest, which is bringing in that high humidity as well. So yes, it feels uncomfortable out there. It feels kind of gross, if I can say it in best perspective, because of the high humidity. We have some showers mainly south of D.C. towards southern Maryland, over the bay, the lower eastern shore, getting a good amount of that early this morning. But it won't last all day long. I think we'll be looking at drier conditions towards the afternoon. This front stalled nearby will keep us unsettled, at least for this morning. And here's how the rest of the day kind of shapes up. We'll kind of get some maybe a brief sunshine out there by the afternoon, and temperatures should get into the mid-80s. You can also go ahead and download the Fox Local app by scanning QR code right there on your screen. That's all you need to do. That will take you to the 7-day and the latest weather updates. All right, let's head over to the Fox 5 Fan Club coming up on 6:06 a.m. Who we have? We have Chris from Winchester. Happy 7th birthday, Everly Rose. Hope you have a wonderful birthday. Love you. I absolutely love this picture. Happy big 7th birthday, Everly. I also absolutely love your name, too. All right, Caesar.
Thank you, Taylor. So far this morning, let's talk about what we have going on here on the roads, right? BW Parkway in the southbound direction over by Kenilworth. It's the crash that's reported after Maryland 201 Kenilworth Avenue. So make sure to follow police direction there. As you can see, some of the delays are still going on. It's the delayed time, though, is about 13 minutes from Maryland 450. So certainly something to keep in mind. Inbound US 50, you can see that we do have some slow drive times here between Maryland 410 and Kenilworth Avenue. It's at around 9 minutes so far this morning. And then as we jump over towards the Claire Barton Parkway, there still is that downed tree that's blocking both the north and southbound direction over in Cabin John. It's between MacArthur Boulevard and Chainbridge Road. So make sure to follow police direction for alternate roads. Marissa?
Well, Caesar, D.C. police are looking for a suspect who assaulted 2 people in Northwest. Take a good look at your screen here. Nearby surveillance cameras capturing the person before he fled that scene. Police say the incident started with an argument on V Street last Wednesday afternoon. They say one of the victims and the suspect were arguing when things escalated, then got physical. Police say the person on your screen assaulted the victim and then another victim with a tree branch. Both fled and called police.
In Silver Spring, a person carrying a large knife was seen trying to enter a number of homes. Montgomery County police looking for the alleged attempted burglar. The person apparently tried to enter homes just before 4:30 in the morning on July 24th, so going back a couple weeks. Investigators say it's a male somewhere between 16 and 20 years old, dark hair and a goatee, wearing oversized athletic shorts and a light-colored hooded sweatshirt, again while holding a large knife.
A Stafford County patrol sergeant heads to court for a preliminary hearing today for allegedly purchasing child pornography. Police arrested Justin Foreman on Friday after an FBI tip that tied him to an account being used to secure the material. Foreman was employed at the time but has since been fired. According to court documents, these interactions date back to 2023.
An investigation underway after a woman was shot at a car meetup in Prince George's County. Police say that woman walked herself to the hospital, the University of Maryland Capital Region Hospital. She's expected to be okay, the department said, despite repeated warnings from Police Chief George Nader about injuries and deaths associated with the takeovers. People continue to put themselves at risk.
Popular grocery store chain Lidl is pulling some shortbread cookies off the shelves after packaging failed to disclose major food allergens. The FDA says Lidl is recalling 2 flavors of its Adonis shortbread cookies. Both products were distributed with foreign language packaging and failed to include English ingredient lists and nutrition facts, panels, or required allergen declarations. No illnesses have been reported. The cookies were distributed to all Lidl U.S. retail store locations in 9 states, including D.C. The FDA says customers should discard the items or return them to the store for a refund. Well, several communities in the DMV hitting the brakes on data center growth. Last week, Montgomery County approved a temporary ban that will halt new permits for a year and a half. And now Loudoun County is considering a similar one on new data center applications while leaders review zoning rules. Supporters say the move would give the county time to address the wide range of concerns.
This is part of a multi-county, statewide, and even a national reaction to unchecked and unregulated data center growth that's causing them now to encroach on communities. They're raising our utility costs. They're causing a strain on natural resources, air quality. They're causing noise issues.
However, not everyone agrees with that. Some industry groups warn temporary bans could create missed opportunities for long-term revenue. The Loudoun County Board of Supervisors is set to vote on the data center pause next month.
We're hearing from bystanders this morning after that deadly shooting at an In-N-Out restaurant in Idaho. Accounts witnesses are giving as the community bands together in the wake of that tragedy.
And strikes halted. Why President Trump says he's holding off on attacking Iran for now in what could be a step toward peace.